Here's 3 common mistakes yoga teachers make that lose viewers and what to do instead. Mistake number 1 is over-explaining. So here's what happens. Most yoga teachers try to cram in as much information as possible in one breath. And what this means for students is they start to feel overwhelmed, and past a certain point, they can't process that information because when there's too much talking, they don't know what is the need to know. How do they filter that out? They can't. Here's why this is important. In person, it would be rude if you walked out of class in the middle of it. But online, this happens constantly because the second you do something that annoys somebody, they will just click away and go and find one of their preferred creators' videos. So if you really want to stand out online and start building your business, you need to focus on the things that might be off-putting. Here's the next one. Mistake number 2 is no clear direction. This is usually done when people add in a load of unnecessary words because they are trying to be kind. And I know it's coming from a good place, but let me give you an example. When you're in class and you're saying, maybe let's attempt this posture if it feels okay with you, there's just no clear direction there. So your students start to think, well, I don't really know what you want me to do. And I didn't come here because I wanted to spend more time in my head. I came to this class because I wanted to spend less time in my head. People come to classes because they want you to guide them. They want to be led so that they don't have to be making so many decisions. And yes, you can still make a class really inclusive, but just do it in a simpler way. Simply say, option to modify, or option to do this. It removes any of the fluff that just starts to feel like noise and can be quite jarring for a lot of students. Mistake number 3 is describing, not guiding. Saying things like this. We're coming into warrior 2. Let's find a downward dog. We're going to open the hips now. Now the problem with that is that language narrates, but it doesn't lead people. Now I know you're probably saying, but what about students who are familiar with the practice? What about intermediate practitioners who don't need to be led every step of the way? You can simply just say, come into this pose. Here's a balance that you can strive for. Lead first, describe second. For example, come to warrior 2. This gets them in the pose. Then, relax your shoulders, reach from fingertips to fingertips. This is more descriptive language that helps them feel into the posture. And that's what great communication is. It gives people just enough clarity to stay in the flow and just enough space to stay connected. Tomorrow, I'll teach you the next layer, how to use your tone, pacing, and pauses to make your classes even more engaging so people watch right to the end.